this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make this simple, cute, sweet little pumpkin 6-inch square. Now, some people call them a granny square, some people call them an Afghan square, but this is just a fun little square that looks like a pumpkin. And you can do several different things with it, and of course you can do whatever colors that you want. And in the little video I showed at the beginning, I showed a couple of different variations that you can do. And this is basically starting with a circle and then switching to your basic regular granny square on the outside. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your color for your center, and we're making it a pumpkin, so I'm going to use this bright orange. And then we're going to need some green, and so instead of this green, I'm going to use this bright green. And then I've got this gingerbread brown left over that I'm going to use for the stem up here and for the last row. Now we're going to be stitching today with an eye hook, and you'll need a needle to weave in your ends. You'll also need a pair of scissors for cutting. And then I have this handy dandy little measuring that I like to use, this little ruler that I like to use when I'm doing squares because it's just a little easier for me. You can use a tape measure or anything that you like to use for measuring, but that's what we're going to use, or what I'm going to use, I should say. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll move this one. Now, just to let you know, this one is hooked to a table runner, and I will show you in another video how to attach the squares together and how to make it into this nice table runner. But for today, we're just dealing with the squares. All right, to get started, we're going to first chain 4, make our slip knot, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to make 11 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. The first 3 chains will count as our first double crochet. So, in case you don't know what a double crochet is, you yarn over. We're going through the 4th chain, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2. Pull some yarn out. All right, so now I have 2 double crochets and I need to do 10 more. I will tell you, if you are a loose crocheter, your square might measure about 6.5, so you might want to go down to an H hook if you want your square to be exactly 6 inches. All right, let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need to do a few more. Here's 10. 11 and 12. Now we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now to do the second row of our pumpkin, here's the pumpkin we're working on. To do the second row, we're going to first put a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, because the chain 3 again counts as our first double crochet. And then we're going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch around. Now we had 12 double crochets for our first row, so we're going to have 24 double crochets for our second row. So now we've double crocheted 2 double crochets in each stitch around, so we have 24 double crochets, and we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch. And now we're going to cut our yarn. Make sure you give yourself enough to weave in your end. And we're going to be joining our green yarn. And this is the portion that I get a lot of questions about because we're going to be forming this little stem, and then we'll be switching back to a different color. We're going to be stitching ours in brown around here today. So what we're going to do, I've got my brown ready, is we're going to join our green yarn, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure that's snug down there. Then we're going to place 2 double crochets in the same stitch as that chain 3, and this forms our stem. Just like that. Oops, there we go. And now we're going to cut that yarn. And we're done with the green until we need it for the trim. So now we're going to join in our next color. On this one, we're going to be we joined in white, but we're going to be doing the brown on this one so it looks like the one on the runner or similar. So we're going to join our brown yarn here, or our second color. Now this is to form the stem. If you're going to just do circles like this one, you just do 3 and then you will start working the same way, but you won't be doing any color changes if you're doing that row all one color. So this is where the most important part about counting your stitches come in. Now you will have these, you'll need to weave those in when we're done, but it's really not hard. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 double crochets in the same stitch because we're forming a corner. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to chain 2. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to put 3 double crochets in the next stitch. And now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to make another corner like we did this one. 1, 2, skip those 2. Now we're going to make the corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. And now we have, here's our stem, was our first 3 double crochets, then we did a corner, then we skipped 2, we did 3 double crochets, skip 2, and we did a corner. And now you're going to repeat that. You're going to make 3 double crochets, corner, 3 double crochets, corner, and then we'll join back here. So now we did our 3, we did our corner, 3 corner, 3 corner, 3 corner, skipping 2 stitches between each one, and now we're going to join to the top of the chain 3. So here's our chain 3, so we're going to join to the top with a slip stitch, and now we're going to place 2 slip stitches here. We're going to go in the top of the stem and just place a slip stitch, and then right there, the second one, place a slip stitch. So we join to the top of the chain 3, then we slip stitch in the top of the 2 double crochets, and now we're going to go in this chain 2 space and do a slip stitch and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that was the trickiest part of this whole pumpkin. Right there. Okay, so now we're going to place 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 2, and now we're going to go in this corner, chain 2 space, and make another corner. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then we make 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. And now what we're going to do is in the chain 2 space here and here, we'll put 3 double crochets, chain 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then we'll make another corner. And we'll do this all the way around. Oops, I get to going too fast. There we go. Chain 2. And then we'll put another 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. So now we're on basically back to making the regular granny square style after we made the circle in the middle. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then another chain 3 double crochets in this corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. Now we'll continue to work this way, making our corner, 2 sets of 3 double crochet, chain 2, around here, and then I'll talk to you about how to join here when we get back around there. So now we've done our corners and our 3 double crochet sections on each one, chaining 2 between, and now it's time to join here. So what we're going to do is we're going to join to the top, that chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 double crochets. And we do this so that we don't have green across the top of that one. This one we did the brown across because we wanted it that way. But if you wanted to, you could do the green, slip stitch across, and join on this one. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. And then we're going to do a slip stitch right here. And because we're chaining colors, we cut our yarn, leaving enough to weave in. And we're changing colors to our green. So we're going to put our green on. Snug that down. Make a chain 1, snug that down, and then chain 2 more for chain 3. And now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put 2 more double crochets in this chain 2 space. Then we're going to chain 2. And then we do it exactly the same way. The only difference is we will have 3 double crochet sections, or 3 double crochet groups, I guess you would say, instead of 2, because we're doing another row. So the corner is exactly the same. We put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, then we chain 2, and then we put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2 in these spaces. Then we do our corner, and we'll do the same thing all the way around, and then we'll join and tie off. So now we've gone around with our green. We did the same thing. We made the 4 corners, only we have 3 groups of 3 double crochet with chain 2 in between, and we need to join to the top. And we do the same thing. We just join to the top of the chain 3. Whoops. There we go. Got our string. I'm just going to pull that to the back for now, because you see we have lots of ends to weave in. And of course it needs a little blocking. A lot of people say you shouldn't block acrylic yarn, but I think that you should because you get a much neater appearance. And what I do is I'll make as many as I need for the project. Like the table runner, I believe it takes 4 because you got 2 on each end. So I'll go ahead and make all 4 of them, and then I'll block them all together. And I wanted to show you with my measuring tape, it measures just a little bit over 6 inches. And so I probably, to make the others, I might tighten them up a little bit, because when you block it, you stretch it a little also. So, but if you want it to be the exact 6 inches, I really suggest you might want to try, if you're a loose hooker, that is, that you might try using the H hook if you want it to be just a little bit tighter. So there's our sweet pumpkin 6-inch crochet square. Some people call them granny squares. Some people call it, if it's not the traditional square, they'll call it an Afghan square. Whatever you call it, it doesn't matter to me. I think this is just the cutest little thing ever. And it's all ready to be put together to make a table runner or placemat or just a decoration. So, and like I said, there are several ways that you can make them. This one is made plain with just different colors. It's circled to a square. And you can see this one turned out just a little bit smaller. So I was probably stitching tighter that day. And the mood that you're in can affect the tension that you get on your squares. And this, of course, is the one I did with the white background, which I really like because I think the pumpkin really pops out. And I think I'm probably going to use both of them in my project and just have a little fun with it. This one I did, of course, is just solid, and I really like how it turned out. Just a cream solid. It'd be great to do interspersed in a project. And this one I thought was just so much fun. I just did it in yellow and put a little emoji face on it. Wouldn't that be fun to make these with all the circles, all different colors? So this little square can be made into lots of different things. Lots of possibilities, lots of choices of how you want to make your little 6-inch square. Well, thanks for watching my video, and have fun with this pattern. And as always, it's a free pattern on my blog. You can find it there. It'll be in the comments. And I would love to see pictures of the items that you create from my patterns. Thanks again.